Hello world. So today I'm going to show you how I paint my miniatures. I use just regular acrylic paints, not any branded paints, just regular student acrylic paints from the craft store. I use 5 colours, black, white, yellow, blue and red, and I also have metallics as well. And I mix my own paints so I don't have to have a million different colours specifically for certain miniatures, so I just mix the colours I want. So the paints I use are these student quality acrylics, and they're in a 1 litre bottle. I didn't pay anything for them recently, I actually got them as a gift, so I didn't have to pay anything for them, so that was really handy. And I keep them in, I just decant them into little pots so that I don't have to bring the huge bottles out all the time. And then I have tiny little tubes of metallic acrylic paint that I use. So in this video I'm going to show you how I prime my miniatures, how I use the paints and the challenges that you have with just regular acrylic paints and how to overcome those. And also I'll show you how to make some washes with them, or how I make washes with them. Some washes that are equivalent to oil washes or just normal washes, as well as glazes as well. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with this griffin from High Elves, and I'm going to just show you how I would prime. I've already primed him black obviously, but I need to make his legs a lighter colour, so I'm going to show you how I would normally prime, and I'm going to do that in white. So what I do is just take my dry brush, I would just scrub it on basically, and that just helps it, and that's just straight out of the bottle. And it just gets into all those little cracks. You can see, and it gives pretty good coverage. So the challenges I had with starting to use just regular acrylic paints was the coverage is obviously not going to be as good as the branded paints, just because they have got a thicker medium, and so when you thin them down they get pretty thin, and the pigments aren't as saturated in the medium as well, so they don't give as good coverage. But basically the paints that are made for models are going to have the best coverage. But now the challenges with the acrylics I found was when you are priming your models with the normal acrylics, you would have to prime them with a lighter colour. For instance, grey, a white if you were going really light, like I intend to make his feet like a yellow or an orange base colour, and that would never cover with the black primer. So that's why you would use a lighter primer, because reds, for instance, on your normal acrylic colours are just not going to show very well, and it's going to take you a long time to build up colours. So start with a really light priming colour, and your colours will come out really, to a good standard, I find. And so I'll wait for this to dry and I'll show you how I then move on and do the painting of his feet, and you'll be able to see just how the colour comes out on them. So just wait for that to dry and I'll meet you back. So I'm back, and I've mixed up my next colour, which is a kind of a muted dark orange, and so you'll see when I'm painting over, I'm using quite a thick layer to begin with, because an orange is just not going to cover as good. But as you can see, is covering pretty well. I'm happy with it anyway. And I'm not afraid to go over a second time. It really doesn't matter to me if it takes a bit longer. My time's 3, right? So, that's the kind of things that you have to think about, that I had to think about when painting with these acrylic paints. They just need a little bit of extra attention, oops, sorry, so that you can get the coverage you need. But it works. And I'll show you some photos at the end of some of the models I've done using this method. Yeah, so hopefully this helps people who are starting out and who think, man, it's expensive to buy the raw book, the codex, and of course your miniatures, all in one go if you are starting out. And then it's like, man, now I have to get paint, and that's going to cost me a whole bunch because now I've just got all these models and I'm going to have to, you know, buy all the paints I'm going to need. 12 different colours or something. Who knows? Right, so the next thing I'm going to show you is a wash that I'll put on this guy, on his feet. And I'll show you how I mix up that wash. Yeah, it's pretty easy with acrylic paints because I've got that medium in them already, so once the wash goes on, it's pretty good at staying on there. Obviously the medium makes it stick really good. Acrylic medium is, in my opinion, fantastic. Okay, so there you go. As you can see, it's not bad coverage. I'm not going to go over it again because I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to wash it and see how that looks before I decide on what I'm going to do next. So once that dry, I'll show you the next. Okay, so next we'll make the wash for washing the griffin's feet. So what I've done is I've just put some dark brown that I've mixed up, and so what I'm going to do next is add a few drops of water with my brush washing water. It's always got a bit of soap, soft soap mixed into it, so I've put that in there. And then next I'm going to be adding some Listerine. So the reason I'm doing that is because it has ethanol in it, which is alcohol, and what that's going to do is help the paint move into all the little crevices and things. It's kind of similar to an oil wash, I guess. So I want it to go in between all those little bumps on the legs, so I want to mix that in so that it goes in between all those little bumps. If I just wanted it to be a glaze, I would not add the alcohol or the ethanol, and then it would just kind of go on really smooth and kind of cover the whole area. If I was going to do a glaze, I may even use an acrylic medium, which is kind of, I guess, the equivalent in Games Workshop would be, is it Lamia medium? Something like that anyway. I got a bottle of acrylic medium from I think a hardware store for $7. So I would just use that. Anyway, this looks pretty good. So his feet are all dry now. So I'm just going to wash that. with this wash, and I can get the right angle for you to see. And as you can see, if hopefully you can, it's just going right into all those little gaps. Really easily, and that's just because of the ethanol that's in there. I'll zoom in the next bit, so hopefully you can see it a little bit better. So, that's the washes. Really, really simple. And when they dry, that ethanol will just obviously evaporate out, and the acrylic medium will stick that wash right in there, so you don't have to worry too much about sealing it or anything like that. It should just stick right on there. So, I hope that was helpful. I just wanted to share the way that I do things, so that hopefully it will help people out there who can't really afford to buy all those paints, and there's just an easier way of doing it. And it works just fine. So, if anyone's interested in seeing how I mix my paints, I'd be quite happy to share that. Just let me know in the comments down below. If you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe so I know, or like this video so that I can do more videos like this. Okay, thanks. Bye.